We're talking football on the Cross the Middle show. I'm your host, Sean Kuzmo. We're going to start with the Cowboys story first. So the Cowboys traded for Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks this offseason. It's gotten to the point where we have to call it like we see it. Jerry Jones is getting better at being a GM. Look at his draft picks recently. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard. He's done a good job of getting talent on the offensive side of the ball through the draft. Then what's he do this offseason? He trades for Stephon Gilmore. Then he trades for Brandon Cooks. You know, Jerry Jones spent a couple late-round picks, 3 late-round picks to get these players, 2 fifths and a 6th-round pick. So basically gave up late-round draft picks that might not even make the team to get Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. I think that's great work by Jerry Jones. I really do. I think the headliner out of the two is obviously Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore played really good for the Colts last year to the point where he won them a game single-handedly because he was balling out. He's still got a lot left in the tank. He can still get in front of wide receivers and break up passes. He can still break on routes. To sum it up, he's still a playmaker. So the fact that the Cowboys were able to get Stephon Gilmore for a 5th-round pick, I mean, that's shocking to me. I don't know what the Colts are doing. I don't know why they would give up Stephon Gilmore. To me, if I'm in a position like the Colts are in, I'm not giving up one of my best players on defense, especially not for a 5th-round pick. To me, Stephon Gilmore is worth more than that. I think that was an idiotic decision by the Colts. Well, it's a great decision by the Cowboys. You know, Jerry Jones plucks Stephon Gilmore off the Colts roster, basically finessed him in a trade to get Stephon Gilmore on his team. Remember, this guy was a Defensive Player of the Year not too long ago. The guy can play. He's a great player. He's always been one of the top corners in the National Football League. The fact that Jerry Jones was able to get him for a 5th-round pick, I mean, that's a great pickup for the Cowboys. A great pickup. Then you look at Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has always had a skill set. He's always been explosive and a really explosive player that can go deep and create big plays to the offense. Now, at the end of his time with the Texans, he was kind of checked out with one foot out the door. Well, he's got that fresh start with the Cowboys. He's coming in with Stephon Gilmore. They're going to be a nice little injection into this team because you got 2 players that are capable of coming in as veterans right away and bringing something to the table for this football team. Brandon Cooks is going to create more plays down the field for Dak Prescott. I think him as a complementary piece next to CeeDee Lamb is going to be nice for that offense. You're going to see a lot of big plays from the Cowboys. They're going to open things up this year. They're going to be chucking the football down the field often, very, very often, because Dak Prescott has the tools to open this thing up. He's got guys that can run the go route, like Dak Prescott likes to call it. He calls it the go route. He's got guys all over the place that can run the go route. Every receiver on this offense can run the go route. So I'm excited. Brandon Cooks especially. He's very good at going deep. He's going to bring some deep balls to this offense. You just throw it out in front of Brandon Cooks and you let him go get the football. Really, you know, it's going to come down to the Cowboys and whether or not these new players can step in and, you know, make an impact in the playoffs. Personally, I believe they can do that. I believe Stephon Gilmore is capable of making an impact. There's no doubt about that. I'm a little less certain about Brandon Cooks, but I still have seen Brandon Cooks make a lot of plays in the National Football League. I've seen him, you know, dominate at times. For whatever reason, he could never stick around with a team, whether it was the Saints, Patriots, Rams. He doesn't stay with the team for very long, but the reality is the guy can make plays. He is a weapon. He's going to help the Cowboys. There's no doubt about that. You don't trade for him unless you're certain that he can at least do something. Jerry Jones feels good about it. I feel better about Stephon Gilmore. I feel really good about Stephon Gilmore just because of how well he played this last year. I know Cooks was sitting out for a little bit and kind of, you know, trying to get out of Houston. I think he's a good player too. Like I said, I'm more certain about Gilmore, but I feel all right about Cooks too. We're going to see what those 2 guys do for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones, though, overall, bringing those 2 guys in for 3 late-round picks that might not even make the team, To me, I give that an A grade. Jerry Jones, well deserved. He's been heating up as a general manager. That's why we're seeing the Cowboys get closer to winning a Super Bowl. Okay, so we did the Cowboys story. We got Jerry Jones doing his thing as a general manager. The other story we're going to talk about is Odell Beckham Jr. on the Ravens. Odell Beckham Jr. is on the Ravens now. Remember, he spent time with the Giants, went to the Browns, went to the Rams, and helped the Rams win the Super Bowl. Odell Beckham Jr. has been talking about how he thought he was going to be the best player on the field in that Super Bowl. Well, before he got hurt, he kind of was. He was taking over in the Super Bowl. He was lighting it up. Then he tears his knee up, but he got the Rams in a position to come back and win that game. Without Odell Beckham Jr.'s plays early on in that Super Bowl, the Rams probably don't win that game. It was tough seeing Odell Beckham Jr. go down in that game, but there's no doubt what he was saying is true. He was going to be the best player in that game if he didn't get hurt. So he's not lying about that. Well, now Odell Beckham Jr. is on the Ravens, and the Ravens have surrounded Lamar Jackson with talent. You got Odell Beckham Jr. there. You have Zay Flowers there out of Boston College. They have weapons on offense now, and I think Odell Beckham Jr. in particular is going to be on the same page with Lamar Jackson. They're a couple of veteran players. They have a good relationship off the field. They're friends. I think they're going to link up and make some big plays for this Ravens offense. Remember, Odell Beckham Jr. runs really well. I actually saw him in a workout, and he looks healthy. He looks ready to go. There's not any getting back up to speed for Odell Beckham Jr. He looks healthy. The knee looks strong. He looks explosive. I think we all know what you're getting when you see an explosive Odell Beckham Jr. An explosive Odell Beckham Jr. is like the player we saw with the Giants, where he's taken the world by storm. Well, now he's a Raven. Now he's with Lamar Jackson. Now he's going to do all the things that he does for the Ravens. I always go back to how well he runs. He can also, be a red zone receiver by throwing fades to him in the end zone. I know he's a smaller guy, but he's so athletic. We all know he became Odell Beckham Jr. by making all these big plays. So you guys know what I'm talking about. You don't become Odell Beckham Jr. without bringing a little something. He brings it. There's no doubt about that. And I'm excited to see him in this Ravens offense. I think he's the clear-cut number one receiver for the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is going to give him the first target on every single drop back. I think they're going to run as much of the offense as they possibly can through Odell Beckham Jr. I think Lamar is smart enough to know that he has a player that can really help him out. Now, obviously, Mark Andrews is going to get his touches. Zay Flowers is going to get his touches too. But I said touches. It really should be targets. But, that offense is just loaded with talent. The fact that they got Ravens, it's amazing. It's honestly amazing how many weapons they have on that offense. They're loaded. Remember, they played the Bengals tough last year without Lamar Jackson. They've added this much to their team since that game. I mean, how does it not work out? The Ravens are in the hunt for a Super Bowl. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to have another chance at winning a Super Bowl. I think Odell Beckham Jr. knows, too. I think he knows that this team took the Bengals down to the wire without Lamar Jackson. I know they didn't have he knows they didn't have Zay Flowers. They're going to be really close to winning the Super Bowl. There's no doubt about that. Odell Beckham Jr. has a chance to get back to the spotlight, to really be taken over like he was. He was really doing a good job with Matthew Stafford there. It ends with an injury. He does win a Super Bowl, though, so not a total failure. Odell Beckham Jr. is a Super Bowl champion, was really lighting it up in that Super Bowl. He's going to have a chance at another one with the Ravens. The Ravens, I'm telling you right now, they're going to be close. They're going to be really close because they're just loaded with talent right now. I can't believe how loaded up the Ravens are right now. I'm happy for Lamar Jackson. I really am. I'm happy that he's going to be just surrounded with talent and have all these playmakers all around him to the point where it's looking like he's going to have a shot at another MVP season. Remember, that would be his second one if he does it again. I like this supporting cast maybe more than any supporting cast he's ever had. They're better than the MVP cast that he had, the MVP supporting cast that he had. There's no doubt about that. Really, though, that's all I got on this Across the Middle show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out wherever podcasts are found. Just search for the Across the Middle show. I'm signing off. Take care.